Hello, today I'm speaking on how to have instantaneous confidence. For some people, that seems like a myth. It seems like, how can you be instantly confident if you've spent your entire life being insecure? Well, what I'm speaking on today is a little more of the external, and later on, I will be speaking in another video on how to cultivate lasting true confidence. But if you are about to public speak, if you are about to do something where you want to appear as confident as possible, then this video is for you. So I'm speaking on two things today. One is a realization that you need to have in order to have instantaneous confidence. And number two is a tool that will help you no matter what. Okay, so we're going to start with this realization. What is the realization you need to have this instantaneous confidence no matter how insecure you currently feel or have been your whole life? One is that to appear confident, you need to understand that the fear you have of doing the thing that's making you feel insecure is a fear of a feeling. And that feeling is embarrassment. And the thing we need to understand about embarrassment is that embarrassment is a sensation in the body. When we see something for what it is, it's often much less intimidating. When we realize that the reason we are afraid of appearing a certain way, we're afraid of approaching a situation a certain way, we're afraid of looking a certain way, the reason we're afraid is because we're afraid of a feeling. And this feeling is a temporary sensation in the body. So instead of saying, I'm afraid of this thing, remind yourself of the reality that no, I'm afraid of a temporary sensation in the body. And when we see it for what it is, it's a lot easier to go towards it because we realize a temporary sensation won't kill us. A temporary sensation means that it's going to go away. A temporary sensation is not a big deal. So that thing that you're about to do, that you're afraid to do, that you're insecure about, you need to realize there's nothing to be afraid of because you're only afraid of a feeling that will pass. So the tool I'm going to talk about today, first I want to ask you a question. Have you heard of Sasha Fierce? Do you know who that is? If you don't know who she is, do you know who Beyonce is? You know who Beyonce is. Beyonce is Sasha Fierce. Sasha Fierce is Beyonce. What do you mean, Naomi? Let me explain. Sasha Fierce is the alter ego that Beyonce created to tap into when she needed to put on her most confident, secure, and performing self. The side of her that she needed to put on before going on stage to perform. You see, Beyonce wasn't always this confident. Beyonce was actually very shy and she was very insecure. And so for somebody like that to go onto a stage and perform the way that she has to and had to was a very intimidating thing for her. So she made the decision. I don't know if it was from the advice of a psychologist, likely, because psychologists, many of them realize and know that we have the ability in the brain to tap into an ego that we would like to be in, and we can do it instantaneously. You see, the brain doesn't know the difference between what is reality and what is going on in our brain, what we are thinking and what's really going on. The brain doesn't know the difference. So if we're thinking something, even though the reality, the external is showing something different, the body will respond according to what you're thinking because it doesn't know which one is real. So if we can think as an alter ego, then the body has to respond. If we can tell ourselves in our mind that we are somebody else, the body will instantaneously respond to act like that somebody else. So Sasha Fierce is Beyonce's alter ego, the most confident version of her, the version of her that she would walk onto stage and perform in front of thousands of people with, the version of her that people would look at and think, wow, that woman is confident. But she just decided to tap into her alter ego. So what do we have to do? Well, of course, we have to create that for ourselves. Now, there's two ways we can do it. We can either sit down, close our eyes, and imagine ourselves as the most confident version of ourselves we could possibly be. How would she walk into a room? How would she smile at people? How would she look? How would she dress? What would her posture be? How would she speak? Would she be fast? Would she be slow? What would she be doing? We think of ourself, which is a very, very, very powerful thing to do. And if we consistently do that, that's how we have lasting confidence. We don't just switch it on and off, we become her. Or number two is we think of a person and we think of somebody who we want to be. We think of the most confident person we know, or just somebody who has a level of confidence that we want to cultivate. We think of them. How do they walk into a room? How do they talk to other people? How do they look at other people? How do they dress? How's their posture? What are they like as a person? What are they like when they're just standing there, when they're drinking coffee, when they're talking to their friend? Imagine it. Think about what they're like. And what we do before we have to go into that intimidating situation is we close our eyes, we imagine what they would do, either ourself or that person, and we consciously decide to tap into it. And listen, you can do this in 5 seconds. It doesn't matter. You have the capability of doing this. No matter how you've walked before, how you've talked before, and how you've looked before, you can decide instantaneously to change all of those aspects of yourself and start moving differently and start looking differently and start speaking differently. You can choose to do that right now. So we close our eyes, we imagine that person, and we decide to tap into that version of ourself or that other person, the traits that the other person has. Now you can name them just like Beyonce named her alter ego Sasha Fierce. It doesn't matter, it doesn't really make a difference, but you tap into them and then you approach the situation. Then you go walk and talk to the person. And as you are going, you're reminding yourself that you're that person, you're that version. And if you start to slip out of it, you ask yourself, what would they do? How would they respond? Would they respond in anger? Would they respond calm? Would they speak slow or would they speak fast? Would their back be straight or would they be slouched? How would they look at the people around them? And if you're afraid to do it, no. You're afraid of a temporary sensation. We don't need to be afraid of a temporary sensation. We can overcome a temporary sensation. You're stronger than that. You keep walking and you keep tapping into her or him and you keep asking yourself, what would he do? What would she do? Okay, that's what I'm going to do because that's who I am right now. And if the embarrassment comes up, okay, it's a temporary passing sensation. It'll go away. I can still keep moving forward. I can still keep walking. I can still keep talking. It doesn't matter if people haven't seen this version of me before. I have the right. I have the ability. I am allowed to change who I am. I'm a human. I'm evolving. I can change who I am. I can decide to be confident today, even though I wasn't confident yesterday. Who cares? This is life. We have one life. You can choose to do that. And please do, because life gets better when you do. How much better is life for those who are confident than insecure? Life is a lot better. Life is a lot better when we're confident. Now, please do this. Like I said, I'm going to be making a video on how to cultivate lasting confidence so that you don't have to consciously decide, I'm going to turn into this alter ego, even though it's a fantastic tool to have when you're going into really intimidating situations. But there are ways to cultivate really strong, lasting confidence that you don't even have to think twice about. It's just who you are as a person. So I'll make that video soon. Subscribe if you're interested in seeing that video, or if you're on the podcast, follow. I'm going to go more into my journey of confidence and where I was and where I am today and the difference in how I got there. And so it's going to be good and I'm excited to make it. But for now, I have to go. I have a train to catch. But I really hope this video helped you. I really hope that if you're about to approach a situation or talk to that person, that you now approach it so differently because you can and you have the right to. Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.